Now, as a certified personal trainer, I get questions on nutrition literally on a daily basis. What is meal prep? What is a macro? What does that mean to what I'm consuming every day? How do I know how many calories to eat? One of the things I really want to talk about today is how to eat out. So don't feel like you can't be social, you can't date, you can't go out with friends if you're on a diet or trying to eat clean. There's many tips and tricks you can use when you're out to restaurants that allow you to still stay within your goals and still have a good time. You can go out, have dinner, have a cocktail, and not be completely sabotaging your goals and your meal plan, right? One of the things that I always recommend to my clients to start is to download an app like MyFitnessPal. It's a tracker. It gives you a really good gauge on what you're consuming throughout the day. So you just enter in your activity level, what your weight is currently, what you'd like it to be, and it'll auto-generate calories for you and general macronutrient goals. So your proteins, your fats, and your carbs. As a standard rule, what it generates for you is great to start off. And then it gives you a really great gauge of what you consume throughout your day. So you can scan barcodes of granola bars or your protein and scan it all in and it'll save it for you. It has a ton of restaurants, grocery store items pre-stored for you. So you can just go in, search your food, look at the serving sizes, put in the correct amount of ounces so that you start to understand what 4 ounces of meat looks like, what a half a cup of rice looks like. All of those things are important so that you understand what your meals are actually containing and what it means for your body. The other thing is the health industry is booming and restaurants are starting to pick up on that. Different stores like MyFitFood, Snap Kitchen, even like Panera is starting posting nutritional information on all of their items. And it's become a really big deal. And restaurants understand that industry is happening and that's where the way of food's going. So they're aiming to please their customers. Don't be afraid to modify items on the menu, change out the sides, ask them to not cook with butter, things like that. So if you're going out to eat and you get a sandwich or a burger, you can order that burger without a bun on it. That saves you easily 400 calories worth of carbohydrates that you just don't need. Say it comes with French fries on the side, ask them to leave them off. See if you can do a side salad instead. These are things that are not a big deal to the restaurant, and people really don't mind you asking for those sorts of exchanges on the menu. It's not a big deal. If you're going out to a nicer restaurant and you want to, instead of getting mashed potatoes with your meal or a carbohydrate, any starch, ask for double veggies. See if they'll do just 2 orders of vegetables, double the asparagus or whatever it may be. The other thing that you can really try and do is stay away from carbohydrates at night. So if you go out to dinner, you really don't need the carbs as an energy source. It's just unnecessary at that point, right? You're going to go out to dinner and you're going to go home and you're going to go to bed, and your body just doesn't utilize the carbohydrates when you're sleeping. So stay away from carbs at night. If you want to do something like have a cocktail, wine is best, liquor is best. Try and stay away from the sweets and the sodas. Also, if you go out to dinner, another good trick is stay away from desserts. And also, don't eat the bread that's on the table initially. It's an unnecessary calorie. It doesn't really do very much. It's not why you're at the restaurant. So just try and stay away from the bread that's set down ahead of time. Same with chips and salsa if you're going out to Mexican, things like that. Those appetizers that are free, they're unnecessary for you in your meal plan. Order a good meal and stay away from that stuff early on. Another trick I like to use is to order a salad first before your meal. So instead of doing fried appetizers or soup, try and order just a salad, very plain. Put the dressing on the side, lots of veggies, and that will actually start not only give you water so that your body starts to feel full, but the chewing mechanism starts to trigger your satiety hormone and will make you feel fuller faster. The portion controls in America today they're out of control. You don't need to eat everything that's on your plate. There's no reason that you need to have 5 courses at a dinner. You're looking for 500 calories maximum really at each meal and spread out throughout the day. So if you go out to dinner, you don't need to have an appetizer and a soup and in a main course and eat everything and do dessert as well. It's just too much. So start to try and wean off of those, numerous course meals. Have a salad ahead of time so that you start to feel full early on. Drink water with your meal. That will also help you feel full. A lot of times when you think you're actually hungry, your body's telling you that it needs something, and it's not telling you that it needs food, it's telling you that it needs water, and you're dehydrated. So anytime you feel like you're just starving before a meal and you want to order all this crazy stuff, French fries and sauces and all that good stuff, have a full glass of water first, wait a few minutes, and then go from there and see how it goes. In general, you probably don't need all that food that you think you're like starving for at the time. Another good trick is to do all of your sauces on the side. So if you get a salad and think you're making a good decision, that's great. Have them leave the dressing off. So what happens is they end up tossing in a lot more dressing than you would normally use, and dressing is high in calorie, even vinaigrettes. So you can be saving anywhere from 200 to 500 calories easily just by putting your dressing on the side. Same goes for if you go out to eat and there's a gravy-based sauce or cream-based sauce on like your chicken or things like that. Have them put all the sauces on the side. It's not a big deal for the restaurant. They don't take offense to it at all. And I've worked in the restaurant industry too, so I can speak from experience. Not a big deal, so don't feel bad asking for things like that or like you're changing the menu. The other thing you can always ask them to do is not to cook with butter. A lot of times they'll finish their vegetables or fish dishes or things like that and brush them in butter. Ask them just not to do that. They can leave it dry. Again, not a huge deal for the kitchen, but it saves you a lot of calories on the back end. And those things are really important. It's really the little things that start to add up throughout your day that are making you go over in your calorie and macronutrient goals, right? It's not that you sit down and eat a whole pizza. At least we hope you don't. But it's those little things that add up, and then you're frustrated as to why you're not losing the weight when you think you're on track and you're doing your workouts and all that good stuff. Nutrition matters a lot. What you consume really, really does make a difference for how quickly you lose your weight, how well your body changes and morphs into what you want it to look like. So it's important to track everything and really understand what you're doing. Moral of the story, don't be afraid to go out to eat. You can definitely still stick to your goals and have a good time with friends and be social while you're still losing weight and getting those results that you want to see. If you enjoyed these tips, make sure to subscribe to my channel. So I hope you enjoy and see you next time.